thieves and sending them across the border. Unbelievably, miscreants are even flown into America and then given huge stipends and housing to cause havoc. Chicago, Los Angeles, New York, all have been crippled by the influx of outlaws, while small towns like Aurora, Colorado, are being taken over by Spanish speaking gangs. Why is this happening? Who is benefiting? Tonight, we're going to be talking about the surge from south of the border, why many of these migrants are incentivized to target black people. And we'll be talking to the master student, Crum, and so much more. But we told you about this. This is the second part of this conversation because we already predicted this before it happened. That's the power of Two Raw for TV. The new KKK will speak Spanish. Militant migrant murderers take over the hood. So we're talking about that. You guys call in 516-453-9174. We're going in tonight. We have the master student Chrome with us. So please introduce yourself, good brother. Let the people know who you are and where they can find you at.
Peace and love, Almighty. I am your humble brother, Crumb, the master student. I want to give you all high honors and perfect praise. You can find me on Crumb TV on YouTube. You can find me on Crumb TV on Facebook. You can find me at Two Raw for TV. Tap all the way in, family.
All right, no doubt. That's what's up. That's what's up. So yes, we're talking about this, and I just want to say, this is a crazy discussion because there's people that are working their ass off to get what they got. They're going to these 9 to 5s, and they say that you had to work to achieve the so-called American dream. But then there's another side to it. There's people that come here that are given $25,000 just off the top. $25,000, $20,000 in food, $5,000 in cash, housing. Some of them are even being flown in, like OnlyFans models being flown into the country. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is this? What's going on? Like, why is this happening? Well, let's just start with history. Let's just start with history about what exactly is happening, because you had Britain, and I'm sure you're familiar with this, Chrome. Britain, they released their prisoners from jail before they came to America. Or I think it was Spain. Released all their prisoners and brought them over here to America. In Australia, you have the British that released all their prisoners and they shipped them to Australia. And now you have Venezuela, and they are taking out all their prisoners and going across the border. Do you know why they were doing that?
Yeah, well, you're right when you start with America. They did do it with America. Never forget, the 13 colonies were penal colonies. How did you get a first class ticket over here to America? All you had to do was commit a crime. There was this one dude in Europe who committed some minor felony or minor infraction, and they told him a part of his punishment was going to America. He said, "I'd rather you kill me. I'm not trying to go over there," because at the time, coming to America was a guaranteed death sentence. Um, Fine. We can go back into history as we have just did. How about we go back into Hollywood? Let's go back into media.
Hmm.
Where have you heard this story before? What movie have you seen? Scarface. In the movie Scarface, he came over here as a political prisoner and he turned out to be on a rampage.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, Scarface. Yeah, that's the hood's favorite movie. So that's everybody's seen Scarface. That was one of my favorite movies. Growing up.
Well, now you get to live it.
Now we're living Scarface, and nobody likes that reality. you know, Everybody wishes they could stop the movie right now. I know the people in Aurora, Colorado are. You know, the people in Aurora, Colorado wish they could stop this Scarface movie from happening. These Venezuelans are coming in there straight like Scarface. I'm talking about they got the choppers on deck. You know what I'm saying? Going up in these houses. And not to mention that they knocked off several gun shops in the Colorado area to obtain these guns. And they know they stole the guns. The government, the police, they all know they stole these guns that they're shooting black people with, that they're terrorizing these neighborhoods with. Let me tell you what's happening in Aurora, in Colorado. They have taken over this whole complex, which we'll go into that a little bit later. So they taken over this whole complex. They have terrorized a lot of the people and they moved out. The rest of the people, they're making them pay rent to the gangs. You're paying rent to these Venezuelan gangs. They're saying, hey, where's your rent at? Hey, hold up. Are you paying the landlord? No, we're paying ourselves. You know what I'm saying? On top of the stipend that they're already getting from America, you already know you already know they got 20,000 on deck, $5,000 in food and on cash, $20,000 food stamps. They're stealing guns. I mean, you can't even say anything about black people. This is just up and beyond black criminality in America because black people not going this hard. But you know why they're going so hard? Because in Venezuela, they're throwing their money away. Their money is valueless. Their economy has tanked. So they're like, you know what? We're over here. We're gonna go super hard. We're gonna go by any means necessary, and we're gonna get it over here in America. You know, so you got a couple of Venezuelan Scarfaces out there, and they are taking over not neighborhoods, complexes, terrorizing black children. In Chicago, there's you got these migrants that are just beating up black children, and it seems like for initiation purposes, for no reason. They're just walking the streets. They see a black person, they see a soft target, they just beat them up. You know what I'm saying? School age children, like 10, 11, 12 years old. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, so we got to understand what's happening right now. So, what is the purpose of these migrants being bussed in, flown in, like OnlyFans models to a rap video shoot? You know what I'm saying? They're being flown in like they do those girls in Dubai. They're being flown in. That's our government doing that. And if they're bringing them to the black neighborhoods, what are they doing that for? So that's the question we got to ask ourselves. Like, why is this happening? What is But we know the answer to this. But the answer is too terrifying for black people to really grasp right now. To really grasp of why they are doing this. Why are they sending these criminals here? Why are they sending their worst? I know there's a phrase on the Statue of Liberty. What is that phrase? Bring us your hungry, your homeless. I don't know what is. Do you know that off the top? Let me look it up. Yeah, but they're coming in droves, and the government is sponsoring this. The government is sponsoring this. So the quote on the Statue of Liberty is, "Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free. The wretched refuse of your teeming shore. Send these, the homeless, tempest tossed to me. I lift my lamp beside the golden door." So obviously, the golden door is the hood because they're getting shown, they're going straight to the hood. And why is this? Why is this? We got to really ask that. What do you guys think? Call in 516-453-9174. You won't see this anywhere else. You're not going to be able to see this on Facebook. You're not going to be able to see this on Instagram. You're not going to be able to see this on Twitter. You're not going to be able to see this anywhere else but to roberttv.tv. So log off your other social media, come to roberttv.tv and subscribe because the revolution will not be televised. All right. We got Chrome here, master student. Man, I love Chrome's work too. He is just awesome with his content. You know, he has a unique perspective on everything. Guaranteed, he's going to make you think about things in a whole new light when you see his content. You know, that's one thing that I always get from Chrome's content. Even if I'm well versed in the material that he's talking about, I haven't heard it from that angle. I haven't heard it from this particular perspective. I may not have even heard this information that he's saying, but it's all based in facts, and it's all it's just a unique perspective that people got to hear. You know, so we're talking about this. We're talking about this. The new KKK will speak Spanish, and you know what? The thing about this, Chrome, is that we had this discussion before, but you know, I've seen the new content on social media. The Venezuelan gangs have taken over different segments of Aurora, Colorado, and so I had to bring the discussion back because it's already happening. I'm ringing the alarm. I've been sounding off. I've been, you know, blowing the trumpet. And nobody's and you know, people been hearing. You know, they've been hearing. Some people heard, but you know, now it's happening. So, you know, what's your thoughts on the whole migrant crisis? What's, you know, and why it's happening? What's your thoughts on that?
Well, when I think about the migrant crisis, I have to think about the wall. I thought about when I first heard about the wall, it deeply concerned me because I felt like I was trapped in America. Now, when I hear about the wall, I feel like it's a door that's just left wide open for anybody to come through. Obviously, it's the back door. I've been to Aurora. Have you?
I haven't been to Aurora, Colorado. I've been to Aurora, Illinois. I have not been to Aurora, Colorado.
Well, when I was in Aurora, I didn't even realize I was in Aurora. Brother, Aurora is one of the dirtiest cities in America. When I was out there, it was like zombie land. When I was out, I never seen white people that dirty. I never seen people that incoherent. When you go through Aurora, lock your doors, hit the gas, and get through the city. That's what I want to say first. But dealing with America, and I don't want to make it political, but I drove through the southern border of America, almost all across the southern border. And I saw people crossing. It's not even a hard thing to do. I saw swaths of walls, swaths of fence, and one of the prime places to cross is in Juarez. Juarez is a city just on the other side of America. And the police were very aggressive towards me. Now, you know, I would assume you're aggressive towards me because maybe my hair or whatever like that. But I got the picture that they were aggressive towards me because of my skin color. and I saw how they were. And these aren't regular police. These are guys. They have the big semi-automatic weapons. They have the dogs there. They're dressed in combat gear. Blah blah blah. These aren't regular police. And every I went. Now this is not Juarez. This is on the other side of Juarez. This is there's a city of Eagle Passing, Texas. You go through Eagle Passing, Texas. As a black person, they can give you a hard time. They treated me like an A1 criminal. Took me out of my car. Had dogs go through my car, brother.
Mm,
They did it to me so many times. I dreaded going that part of town, and I noticed a lot of times it was just me. They would let people in front of me go. They would let people behind me go. Let me go through there. They stop me. So
mm,
I was always interested at how the border is so loose, but they treated me like this. I couldn't make heads or tails of it. So is there racism? Are are they manning those borders? Yeah, people like you and me, brother, you're gonna have a hard time if you go down there. But
mm.
obviously, Jose and the gang, it seems like they're allowed. They're rolling out the red carpet for them. They're putting up the concentration camp barriers for you and I.
Right, right. And you gotta recognize what's happening. So they're sending all these migrants here. They're they're allowing them, because that's what they're doing. They're allowing them to take over different neighborhoods. They're allowing them to rob these gun stores and all that stuff like that. And there's a reason why. There's definitely a reason why. I want to play that first clip about um, you know, the Social Security, how they're bankrupting those different things like that, because that's what's happening right now. Your tax money is paying for these migrants' mischief. Your black people who are paying the highest taxes are paying for this migrant mischief, and race-based murder. That's what you're paying for, and so we got to get to it. Okay, the other one that you the yeah, yep. So
El
yeah,
El Paso. I went to El Paso. I hate going through El Paso. I went through there's a city called um Piedras Negras.
mm,
I went through that city. I said, does that say Negro? Um because remember, in that area they have a very big it's a lot of black people who were fighting um in the Great Migration from Andrew Jackson. A lot of the
mm,
Indians who were black people, the actually in South Carolina, over there by your people. Shout out to South Carolina. Over there in South Carolina, when where this particular war, that the Indian War, but it was a particular name for it. It had kicked off over there, and it eventually led to the great migration of the so-called Indian. You're going to see a lot of cities on the border with the name Negro on it. Over there by Del Rio, Eagle Pass, Laredo is a big one. I will never go to Laredo again. I don't know if they got face plastered somewhere in Laredo, but they treated me horribly out there.
wow.
Even though at one point in time we that was a sanctuary for us. Remember,
Hmm.
Mexico's first president was a black dude. Never forget.
Yes. All right. Yeah. So we're gonna watch this, how they're bankrupting different things in the government. You got to tune in. Call in 516-453-9174 to Raw for TV.
Nigga, the Venezuelans is taking over. They just jacked them? Oh, me. These niggas is out here tripping. Bro, damn, they done made a mess of shit.
Nigga, y'all are on bullshit out here. That is on bullshit.
Oh, shit. What the f? Yeah, they're tripping. Nigga, they cracking off in the air and everything. They driving over the... Nigga, we almost just got hit. Bro, these niggas is on bullshit.
Wow. Wow, that's happening right here in America. That's not happening in Venezuela. That's not happening in, different parts of Mexico. That's not happening in some so-called third world country, what's being promoted as a third world country. That is happening right here on this soil on Turtle Island, now known as the Corporation of America. So, did you, by any chance, see that video? I had posted that earlier. Yeah, it's of migrants, and they got the choppers. They got all of that on deck, and then there's residents of Aurora that are in some public place and watching some migrant seemingly rob somebody right there. You know what I'm saying? They're like, "Oh, he's getting jacked," and like, so they're watching the crime wave happening right there in Aurora. And then when you say it, when you had that personal experience about Aurora, it makes sense. Like it's one of these places that's just a waste town of America. There's different waste towns in America, so the government got some set up like this is their testing ground. They could set up shop right here, you know, and pretty much get away with it, and they have been. You know what I'm saying? So that's what's happening right now on American soil. You know what I'm saying? But we got to talk about why that's even happening. What's the purpose of all of these migrants coming in? What was the purpose of the British and their prisoners here? What was the purpose of you know them bringing prisoners to Australia? And the purpose is genocide. The purpose is genocide. They know that these prisoners, these people that have already committed murders, that have already committed rapes, that have already been to war with the military and all that stuff like that, and maybe even why they're imprisoned, political prisoners, prisoners of war. Now they're here on the soil and with these soft ass Americans that are eating nothing but Frito Lays and on the couch watching the Dallas game and all of this other stuff. Like they're so fucking soft, and they know that's the testing ground. So Aurora is like the testing ground, the ground zero for black genocide. Because that's the ultimate thing they're here for. That's the ultimate thing that they're here for, is this black genocidal sort of thing. But what's your thoughts on that, Chrome? What's your thoughts on that?
I'm happy, brother. I ain't gonna lie to nobody. I am happy. Um, I was talking to somebody a couple of years ago, and they said, "What is it going to take for our people to wake up?" I said one word and one word only, and it happens to be an anagram of raw. Actually, it's raw backwards. It's going to take a war.
Yes.
They gonna have to whip your ass, whip your mama ass, whip your baby
Mm-hmm.
ass. They got to whip your favorite
Right.
rapper's ass. They got to whip your favorite actor's ass. They got to whip your favorite basketball player's ass.
Mm-hmm.
Because remember, uh, the Negro loves to say, we are not a monolith. We are not a okay, you're not a monolith, but I tell you what, when there's an enemy at the gate, the enemy becomes a galvanizing force.
Mm-hmm.
So no, we're not a monolith until they make us a monolith. We are not a galvanized force
Right.
until we have a common enemy. And I was told one of the best times for our people was under slavery. Because under slavery, we couldn't
Mm-hmm.
play like we didn't know who our enemies were. Now,
Mm.
niggas got a little freedom. You got a little Section 8. Now you can act like you don't know what's going on. Let
Well,
them people come
hold that
kick
thought, hold that thought for 1 second, Chrome, because we're gonna go. We got these commercials. We're gonna come back. You guys check it out. You guys call in 516-453-9174. We're live. We're talking about it. The Spanish, the new KKK will speak Spanish. It's too raw for TV.
Conscious Cypher is a music-oriented, family-friendly festival that promotes Black positivity, unity, and higher consciousness. Following the success of our inaugural event, which sold out and featured notable personalities such as Palmetto Star and Professor Griff of Public Enemy, we are excited to announce the second installment of this transformative gathering. The second Conscious Cypher will continue to build on our mission of uniting the conscious community through music, spoken word, and inspiring guest speakers. This year, we've expanded the event to 2 days to accommodate the overwhelming interest and to provide even more enriching experiences for attendees. There will even be activities for children, ensuring a full family experience. Connect with like-minded businesses, influencers, and community leaders, with proceeds benefiting the Liberated Minds Black Homeschool and Education Institute. Together, we can create an unforgettable experience that fosters unity, positivity, and higher consciousness.
This is Judge Joe Brown. I will be in town breaking it down. You'll find me live October 5 at the Conscious Cypher. Get your tickets at 2raw4tv.tv.
Are you a content creator?
All right. So yeah, you guys get your tickets right now for the Conscious Cyber. You heard it here first. You're gonna see Judge Joe Brown. He's gonna be in town. Like you said, so he's gonna be here for the Conscious Cyber. You guys definitely want to get your tickets right now. Right now, right now. I'm talking about as we speak onto Robert TV, because you definitely want to do that. The tickets are going to go up soon, but the early bird tickets are only $10 for 2 days. The festival is 2 days now. That's $5 a day, but the tickets are not going to stay that price for much longer. So you definitely want to get as many tickets as you can right now, so you could be part of this. You know, there's nowhere else you're going to be able to see Judge Joe Brown for only $10. You know, really $5. So you know, you definitely want to come and join us for the Conscious Cypher. That's going to be at 576 Lee Street in Atlanta. It's going to be an amazing experience. This The new KKK will speak Spanish. It's happening right now in real time. We have the master student Chrome here. You guys definitely check him out. Chrome TV. You know, that's doing major things on YouTube. You guys definitely catch Chrome, man. Subscribe. You know, join part of that. Get a different perspective, man. You know, one thing with Chrome, his material, like, you always want to like have a notebook handy. You know what I'm saying? Notebook, writing material. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna want to take notes. Like, oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know this. You know, so it just compels you to learn different things. So that's the whole thing about that. So we're talking about this. The new KKK will speak Spanish, and it's a major thing, y'all. This thing is not something that is, just a small problem right now. These guys are being bussed here. They're being flown here. It's not like they're just sneaking across the border. I don't know what the application process is to be flown out here. You know what I'm saying? What you had to agree to, you know, but it's definitely something anti-black. You know what I'm saying? Whatever is in the agreement, and them getting your plane ticket to a one-way plane ticket to America, it is definitely some anti-black vibes happening. You know, and you know what? People have this thing about this black and brown coalition. You know what I'm saying? But where are these brown allies right now? I mean, where are they? Where are these brown allies at? Crumb. Where are these brown allies that is from the brown and black coalition?
Well, I lived in California, and I had a friend out there, this Mexican girl, and it caught me off guard because obviously I watch too much TV. Because number one, it's not hard to be darker than me. Let's just be honest about it. But she was significantly darker than me, and
Okay.
I was naive. I said, "Wow, you're very dark to be Mexican."
Mm-hmm.
She said, "Yeah, it's a lot of us. However, comma, even from our own community, we are shunned." And it
Mm,
was jarring for me, very jarring, because they, I don't know if this is a part of it, but it seems like they suffer from self-hate worse than we do. And
mm-hmm.
they are doing everything in their power to lighten their race. And
Yeah.
if that's what they doing to grandma, because remember, 2 generations ago, Puerto Rico looked like you. Just 2 generations ago. A generation is about 30 years, let's say 60. 60 to 100 years ago, the complexion of Puerto Rico was that. So you can see what they're doing in these Spanish speaking countries where they themselves are trying to lighten their complexion. You have to remember, Hitler didn't lose the war. Hitler
Mm,
did not lose the war.
big on it.
Where did Hitler go after he had to flee Germany? If you guessed Argentina, you guessed right. When you have a race loyal group of non-white people, you're going to find that in these Spanish speaking countries. Now remember, when you're dealing with Spanish, Spanish is from Spaniard. Remember, because history repeats itself, who were the first perpetrators of the slave trade? If you guessed Spain and Portugal, you guessed right. White people didn't get
Mm-hmm.
into that till later. It was the Spaniards, the conquistadors. What you're seeing is the 2020 version, 2024 version, conquistador, of the first people that came to Haiti. At the time, Haiti. The first people that came to Montezuma from the shore.
Mm,
What is it? From the shores of Montezuma to the north of Tripoli. Those were Spaniards who came and terrorized
mm,
us first, who came with dogs, who came with guns, who came to rape and pillage. So it should be of no surprise. We should be saying right now, wow, history really does repeat itself. What a coinky
mm,
dink.
That's a new perspective. I didn't even think about the conquistadors, but see, that's a new perspective to put it on. That the news, that's the new KKK will speak Spanish. The conquistadors. Wow, yeah, that's a new perspective to put on that because that's what's happening right now. You have black people that are getting ran down, ran out of their apartment complexes. They are being terrorized by these people. Aurora, Colorado is just the most blatant in your face example, but it's happening in Chicago. It's happening in New York. It's happening in LA. I'm sure in even pockets it's happening in all major cities, including Atlanta and all that. Now you don't see a lot of migrants out here, but you know that they're trying to make the testing grounds the major cities. They're trying to make the testing grounds the major cities. So when you talk about the new KKK will speak Spanish, that's what's happening right now, right on the grounds in America. Yeah. Well, they're in different parts of Georgia, like Gwinnett County. You know, they're in different segments of Georgia. Definitely for sure. That's what I'm saying. They got them tucked into different places, hidden in these different enclaves in different places and all over the country. You have these enclaves, these sleeper cells, I would call them, these sleeper cells of of different Spanish speaking race terrorists. Now, we're talking about it, and I have a personal story because, you know, you're talking about the shunning of dark skin Spanish speakers and different things. My family name is Gomez. My grandfather was a black Mexican. You know what I'm saying? So, but he was even him. He was estranged from his family. You know what I'm saying? So I even have that bloodline, that Mexican bloodline in my own family. I have many different Spanish speaking people in my family. You know what I'm saying? I don't speak fluent Spanish, but there's a lot of people in my family that do. And so, you have that. You have that hatred towards black skin, that's happening over here. And Crumb is exactly correct. You had the Nazis that go to Argentina, and then when you see these different places that they had Europeans, they would have Europeans come over there to make those places more light skinned. You know what I'm saying? Like completely make them more light skinned. Places where they were like, oh well, black people weren't here. Black people. What do you mean the Olmecs? You know what I'm saying? That's what they want to throw out, and then they throw a modern Mexican out there. Like, does he look like an Olmec? Blah blah. Like, it's because you guys lighten it up. Don't try to change the story up and then act like we're the crazy people that are saying everywhere was black. Oh well, what about this guy with his wavy hair and come on, stop it, stop it. You know what I'm saying? We see the deception. We see all of that. You know. So we're going in. We got the master student Chrome here, and we're going in about this. The new KKK will speak Spanish. We're extending this conversation. It's part two of this conversation, because it's so relevant right now. Aurora is being under siege with Venezuelan gangsters, Scarface. You know, so that's what I'm saying. They're living the Scarface movie right now in Venezuela. You know what I'm saying? So that's what's happening right now. So we're talking about that. We got Chrome here. And we're going in. You guys call in 516-453-9174. I do want to play that other clip that we had. We got the other clip on deck, Trey? Okay. Got you. So yeah, we're going in on this subject because it people think that it's just a game, And they had Kamala as the border czar. Think about it. This was your job. You have one job. You have one job, and you failed horrendously at that. You know what I'm saying? She was the border czar, supposed to do something with the border. Now that she has a chance to become president. She's like, oh, well, I'm going to do something about the border that I hadn't done in the 3.5 years that I've already been there to do something about it. What's called the border czar was appointed as border czar, never went to the border, which is crazy. Imagine being hired for a job and then never going to the job. You know?
I wanted to
Yes,
point
Chrome.
out, I, I wanted to point out when you're dealing with Aurora, Aurora is a part of a tri-city area. It's
Mm.
Aurora, Broomfield, and Denver. I hate when it does that. But yeah, when you're dealing with those three cities, it would be kind of like New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut, or New York, New Jersey, and Philly. These three major areas that are so close to each other. Now, remember, California was the first state to legalize marijuana. Uh, as of
Hmm.
right now, not California, Colorado, excuse me.
Yeah,
Colorado was one
Colorado.
of the
Yep.
first states to legalize marijuana. Right now, the drug problem in Colorado is close, if not at, epidemic proportion. You're going to see on norm 12-year olds who are cracked out or doped out on something. This is the horizon. This is the environment. This is the canvas. This is what you're going to see on norm. You're going to see 12-year-olds who are doped out on something, and that's just the children. The adults, it's I've traveled this country, and I would tell you, generally speaking, I feel comfortable in the hood. When I go to the
Hmm.
hood, I'm at home. When I went to the hood in Aurora, it was um it was like the scene from I Am Zombie when Will Smith had shot that little zombie girl, and then all the adult zombies came on his ass. That's what people were just wandering, and it caught my eye. And I'm not really one to be super observant, but I was like, why is there so many people? And this was late night. Why are so many people just out and about, just kind of wandering?
Mm.
And I had to check my map. I'm like, where am I? There's only one. There's only one other place I've been where I had to check the map and like, where the hell am I? That was Aurora, Colorado, and Memphis, Tennessee. Those are the two places. Like
Mm.
when I was in Memphis, I just saw all types of ass. So I'm like, oh, they're going ass. And maybe I'm a pervert. Maybe I just noticed ass. I drove down maybe it was like Figueroa in Los Angeles, California. If anybody knows
Hmm.
Figueroa, any if you want to find a girl that'll do something strange for a piece of change, take your ass down to Figueroa in Los Angeles. You want to find a girl who'll do anything, take your ass down to Memphis in Tennessee. Remember, Memphis stands for making easy money, pimping hoes in the South.
There you
Those
go.
those are
Yep.
the black cities. The equivalent to that would be Aurora. But the girls in Aurora, bro, you don't want those girls. You don't want those women. You don't want no parts of those dudes. Aurora is probably one of the worst cities I've ever been in my whole life, and I am well traveled. I would say Aurora is on par with Brownsville. Brownsville, Brooklyn. When I was
Mm.
in Brownsville, Brooklyn in the daytime, I got a real strong sense of what danger is. Brownsville, Brooklyn don't got nothing on Aurora. Aurora is Brownsville. I would compare Aurora to Pennsylvania, because Pennsylvania is ground zero for fentanyl. Aurora was
Mm.
like there. So I would say Aurora is easy pickings for any mob style organization that wants to take over a city, I didn't see any police out there. I didn't.
Mm.
I didn't see any. It was a place where you're driving down the street and you'll see a white, and it was a lot of white people out there. You'll see a white person just crapping, hunched over. Don't go to IHOP. Don't go to the gas stations. Like when I was in Aurora, I was like, Dad, I got to get gas and I don't want to stop. That was the energy in Aurora.
Wow.
Aurora is a dump. It's a wasteland.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. American wasteland. That's what it is. And you had said something that what were you saying? That was because you got these spots that are out here. What I was gonna say is Colorado, right? This is where they first did that experiment of legalizing the cannabis. Now the cannabis is definitely more potent than government strain cannabis,
And government cheese.
and people, yeah, yeah, government cheese cannabis. But they want to say that marijuana enthusiasts want to say that weed is not the gateway drug. But if you look at these different places where it's legal and all these people cracked out, you know what I'm saying? What they started off smoking. They start off hitting that meth pipe. They start off on the fentanyl. You know what I'm saying? Did they start off on, the crack pipe? Like, what would they started off on?
Brother, what was that movie that Dave Chappelle was in? And it was the very first movie in the world that introduced miracle marijuana. What was that movie called?
Talking about, I want to say How
Dave
High, but that's the
Chappelle.
red movie.
Marijuana movie. Weed movie. In the movie, it was him, a white boy, and a half baked.
Half Baked, yeah.
Half Baked was the movie that introduced the world to medical marijuana. None of us had seen it before until Half
Mm-hmm.
Baked. And that was probably one of the movies that was pivotal in Dave Chappelle's career. And you saw that white boy in Half Baked. You saw the Spanish boy in Half Baked, and they didn't look like regular dudes who were smoking marijuana. They looked like they were dibbling and dabbling, and they you got the sense that they were really willing to do any particular drug.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, when you say weed is a gateway drug, we saw what marijuana led to, what that medical marijuana led to, that GMO marijuana. I remember one of the most controversial statements I ever made is that there's only two types of marijuana, indica and sativa, and everybody jumped. "Oh, no, you got green crack, and you got this, and you got that, and you got diabetes flakes, and all types of weird names and stuff like that."
Right.
So yeah, so now what you're seeing is that was the perfect trifecta: the black guy, the white guy, and of course the conquistador. And
Mm.
their what what brung them all together, because they were like the golden girl junkies. They were
Mm.
the Golden Girl junkies, and what brought them all together was drugs. And I would say that's what you're going to see in Aurora. You're going to see the worst of the worst derelicts and degenerates, where it's a bunch of black losers, a bunch of white, and a bunch of Spanish. And what brings them all together is these are the motley crew dope boys who at one point in time you would have thought were the drug dealers turn out to be drug addicts. And
Yeah.
as we've said, the ringleader who has established dominance of this perfect trifecta is going to be that Spanish boy.
Mm. Yep. Yep. Because they're bringing the drugs in. They're bringing the drugs
They're the
in. They get
ones bringing the drugs in.
right. Right. Yeah. That's. I mean. That's the thing. Even in South Carolina, big time shout out to everybody that's in SC right now, but all the connects, they always there's always a Spanish connect, you know what I'm saying? With it, because they're getting it from Mexico. They're
Lock
getting
Poppy
it
ass up.
right. Right. They're scared to. They're scared to. They're not doing it, man. But they definitely someone's got to do it. And yeah, someone's definitely got to do it because it's affecting us. It's affecting black people. They're putting these people. They're testing the genocidal race war thing in Aurora. This thing is serious, man. And we talked about it. We gave people the warning. We told people when we first had this conversation, we said the new KKK will speak Spanish. When we first had this conversation, we gave people the warning. This was before the crisis had even got as bad as it is now. But now it's at fever pitch, and now people are wondering what to do. And the thing is organized. You know what I'm saying? We got to organize. We got to unify. We got to come to places like the Conscious Cipher, get all together. Yes.
Brother, are you familiar with the favelas?
Mm-mm. No, go in. Expound.
The favelas are a shanty town. A shanty town is a community made of, uh, I don't want to say cardboard, I'm going to say tin. No
Mm,
running water, blah, blah, blah. That's a shanty town. The favelas are a shanty town in Brazil that that the de facto government are gang lords. I think um, Michael Jackson is probably the only black person who has ever went to the shanty towns and got love. But the point is, these conquistadors, that's a part of their modus operandi. They go to
mm-hmm.
these shanty towns, they go to these favelas, and they take over. Anybody under the sound of my voice who is listening now and gonna catch this later, Google favelas, and you're gonna get a sense of what Aurora is and why it makes perfect sense that these conquistadors have taken a liking to that. They go and they thrive off the lowest of the low communities, and this is where they develop their strongholds from.
Mm-hmm.
The favelas in Brazil are infamous for being a dirty, underdeveloped, underpoliced shanty town.
Mm,
And this is the same. Aurora has all the hallmarks of a shanty town in Brazil, a favela in Brazil taken over by these conquistadors.
See, that's what I'm talking about. This is why you definitely need to subscribe to Chrome TV. Since he brings it to you in, in these new perspectives. And we were talking about Gwinnett County earlier, and I have some breaking news. You're gonna see the article soon on TV. But I want to read this to you guys. This is about what happened in Gwinnett County just yesterday. Just yesterday. Gwinnett County Sheriff's Office arrests 47 individuals in the Serenos gang case. The Gwinnett County Sheriff's Office arrested 47 individuals believed connected to the Serenos gang activities after a 9-month-long multi-agency investigation. So they arrested these people. They is a They were uncovered that element of a major Georgia gang that had allegedly been trafficking firearms and narcotics across the state. These are Spanish-speaking KKK members. The agency was able to determine the group had ties to the Mexican drug cartels through surveillance and other undercover operations. Now, through the investigation, the department seized 300,000, 311,800. No, I'm sorry, 3 million. That's millions. 3 million 11,873 in U.S. currency. Wow, that's a lot. 14 firearms, 194.12 kilos of methamphetamine, 36.8 kilos of cocaine, 6.79 kilos of marijuana, and 300 fentanyl pills. Several vehicles that were utilized in commission of crimes, they seized them. The individuals arrested in the case were charged with narcotics trafficking, telecommunication devices used to they were used okay with narcotics trafficking, telecommunication device used related to drug distribution, illegal possession of firearms, criminal street gang activity, and racketeering. So this is happening in Gwinnett County, where we said that's one of the enclaves where these Spanish-speaking KKK members are. So, that just happened yesterday, the 28th, you know. So that's happening right here in the city. So you guys, when we say the new KKK will speak Spanish, that's what we mean. So, the thing is we got to unify, we got to take charge, we got to be aware, you know what I'm saying? And we got to connect. We got to connect with like-minded people that are militant-minded and willing to take action on different things. So this is happening right here in our faces, under our noses and with our children, right there. So that's the thing about that. So the new KKK will speak Spanish. So we went in. We talked about this. We talked about why why we need to unify, because we have these KKK members that are being flown in from places like Venezuela, where they have openly admitted that they are emptying out their prisons of the most egregious rapists, murderers, thieves, and they're sending them across the border under penalty of death. They're saying you can't come back here. If we here in Venezuela, we're gonna you. You don't have a choice. You want to live, leave. So they're making these people under penalty of death to go to America. So that's what's happening right now, and it's happening. So you know we have history repeating itself right in your face. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is this. This I made this in because I was going to do a show on a different topic, but I made this an important trumpet, ringing the alarm, because these are the signs of an impending, or what they're trying to do is to prop up a genocidal conditions. By bringing all these migrants in here, these militant migrants that are allowing to yes, sir, Chrome.
You said it's time for us to come together as a militant force. Um, I don't know. I was looking for the article. I can't find it, but there was this Korean beauty supply store, or some type of Asian beauty supply store, and this black girl had got accused of stealing hair, and I think she was innocent, or maybe she was guilty. Who knows? But they decided, the Koreans, to be judge, jury, and executioner, and they kicked her ass. And I think
Mm.
it was a pretty moderate ass whipping, but they whipped that girl ass. And the black people in the neighborhood caught whiff of it, the black men. So the black men go there and they whip the Asian man's ass. Guess who whipped the black man's ass after figuring out what the black man was doing?
Is that
The black woman.
the black? Mm.
So the black
Damn.
man, after hearing that that black girl, I forgot what city and state is in. Y'all can look it up. Hopefully someone can find it. The black man, I'm sorry, the black woman, she goes to this Korean hair store, and I don't know if she's innocent or guilty, but the Asians or the Koreans, they decided to be judge, jury, and executioner and whip that girl ass, and they did it on camera. And after the black man heard about it, I think he threw like a brick through the window, or he like
Oh,
it
yeah,
was
you
it
know
was
what?
some
I
real.
remember that. I remember that. Yeah. I remember that
And
because he
then
did it on camera too, didn't he?
after he did it on camera too. After he did that,
Mhm.
there was this big boycott, this beauty supply store, and the black women came out in droves. It looked like a Beyonce. The black women came out in droves talking about leave those Koreans alone. Uh,
Painful.
you know, because we talk about black men being the protectors. Verily, I say unto thee, there have been examples, black men, where you came up and protect, and then the black woman came and whipped your ass.
Mm,
So you better be careful when it comes to stepping it up. I was also going to say
right.
that what was another incident? Not fucking around. The
Oh, the coalition. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
the not fucking around coalition. We saw where we finally had a black man who stepped it up, armed.
Hmm.
I think they marched on Stone Mountain,
Yep. Yeah, they did.
and after they locked him up on some bogus charges, black people tucked
Hmm.
their tail between their legs, and they looked towards the ground, and they kept shucking and jiving. I's got to go to work. I's got to go to work. Boss gonna be looking for
Right.
me. So
Right.
I think there's going to have to be they're going to have to turn the heat up significantly on niggas before we really do something. And the the most action I've seen black people take was behind Trayvon Martin, and who hijacked the steam from our motivation for change. It was fat
Who has it?
black women.
Mm-hmm.
Fat black lesbian women. We need change. Fat black lesbian woman took the reins to that, and she gave you change. She gave you change. Now you got Black Lives Matter, and you got you got a homosexual force in the black community. There's your change.
Right. Right.
So
And it's so
I don't know
shameful
what
when they do
needs.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, that was Trayvon Martin. That was not Mike Jones, Mike
Mike
Brown.
Brown.
That was
Mm-hmm.
Tamir Rice. These were all black
Yeah. Right.
boy male sacrifices.
Mm-hmm.
And just like with the beauty supply store, if you step up, the black woman's going to intercept you. Remember, the black woman is the white man's greatest tool, second greatest tool for white supremacy. At first, it was his daughter. He would
Mm-hmm.
send his daughter as a bed wench. Now he sends the black woman as the new bed wench of white supremacy.
Mm. That we
And
could talk
I
about
wanted to,
too. That's
I would imagine if we do militarize and we do step up against the European, he's going to send a black woman at you. I think it was in South Carolina. That black woman was protecting the KKK. Was that in South Carolina? Um, Black woman protects KKK. Don't hit him. Let me go to images. I think, yeah, here it is. Here it is. Here it is. I wish I could share camera. Where did this take place? Oh, okay. This is Ann Arbor, Michigan. In Ann Arbor, Michigan, a bunch of black men finally decided, hey, we're gonna take control and take reins. And this guy, it wasn't just some white business owner or some white guy who was just in the wrong place. He was a Klan member. He was one of these Klan members. He had all of the swastika tattoos and the biker jacket and all of the hallmarks of a racist white man. He was like Yosemite Sam. And the black dudes, they was beating the dog shit out of him. And they sent a black woman, don't hurt him, let him go, let him be. Um, and she had her little mammy rag on, and she had a little short hair that was nappy, looked like somebody Don Imus would be picking on.
right.
I don't know if you remember the Don Imus
Oh
quote.
yeah, I remember that. Yeah, yeah, nappy headed hoes.
And yeah, one of them girls, Don Imus, would have called, and with the mammy rag, and she had a big shirt on, with big bold letters saying USA. And I can't share my camera, can I? Okay. But
Okay.
yeah, you can look up. Let me see what it says. In 1996, there was a moment that was captured on camera and took place that will become a piece of social justice history. In Ann Arbor, Michigan, the Ku Klux Klan rally, when encountered protesters, showed up as a means to show white supremacy group was unwelcome in their town. The historic moment came when a man, Albert McKeel Jr., wearing a Confederate flag shirt and a SS swastika tattoo, enters the counter protesters' side alone.
Right.
Keisha Thomas, hey Kiki, then just 18, was in the crowd to protest the KKK being in Ann Arbor when things took a turn. They started whipping his ass, and she came to his aid. Yeah, we're gonna have to militarize, but I tell you what, before you take care of the enemy abroad, you got to clean house first.
Right. Right. Well, I think when you see, um, like the Moors, when you take an example from like the Moors, like our real conquering, our real conquering predecessors, they never took the women with them, and you wonder why, and now you see why, because they'll be over there trying to defend these people, all that stuff like that. The discernment of the modern day black woman is very off. You notice that when they go on these social apps and they hook up with these pell mells, and you didn't know that he's gonna chop you up. You didn't know he's gonna do all these things, and they keep on doing it. It's like they do it over and over and over and over again. Trying to be trying to divest from the black man, try to make a point that oh, this pell mell over here is better. you know this this bottom shelf Billy is better than Kareem, or whoever, and they try to make this point, and then they end up getting chopped up and all sorts of stuff like that, and it's just like but then it keeps on happening over and over again. They never learn.
And I'll say this, to be honest with you, brother, I've never seen the 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 Spanish man, the brown man, as a real competitor. I just haven't. Um, Julio come around here, get his ass whipped. I mean, he
Right. Right.
Julio don't come in the neighborhood banging. Julio come in he's a fucking gardener. Fucking last time I seen
Yeah.
Jose had gardening gloves on. I didn't know Jose was a dope
Right.
boy. His ass out there pulling weeds. But
Right.
that's that's just the way I see them, you know. And maybe I'm missing something. It's just compared to us, they they don't seem like a competitor. It really seems like, we could stomp them out, no problem at all. But
None
because when you talk
whatsoever. Like, seriously.
when you talk about us being a strong force against them, I think we outnumber them. I think we outsmart them. I think we outpower them.
Hmm.
I think our gangsters are more gangster than their gangsters. So what's stopping us from clicking up and destroying them? I think is because we've been integrated into a burning house, and we ourselves aren't coherent enough to become a unifying force. And I was talking to
Hmm.
somebody, and I think it was general people, and they were talking about black people this and black people that. And I said, listen, family, the reality is brown, white, green, whatever your color is, all of you, you know how much all is? All of you are scared shitless of the sleeping giant. Because once we wake up, once we become a unified force, brother, do you know what the greatest threat to America is?
The according to J. Edgar Hoover, he said that the Black Messiah,
The
really.
Black Messiah.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, do you know how powerful that is? The greatest threat is the Black Messiah. Bro, not no matriarch, not Jesus, not
Mm-hmm.
Russia. Bro, once you and I decide it's over, no weapon formed against thee shall prosper. I don't care how many bombs, you gonna need every fucking bomb you got to get me off your ass.
Mm-hmm. Facts. True indeed, man. We're unstoppable when we realize it, and it just takes that realization, remembering that, you know what I'm saying? So that's what it takes, man. So big time shout out to Chrome. I love what you do. Again, can you let the people know where they can find you at? What's the best way to get through to Chrome TV?
Peace, family. I am your humble brother Crumb, the master student. Verily, I say unto thee, family, I am humble and I'm honored. I'm grateful. To the prophet, I give high honors and perfect praise. You can find me on Crumb TV on YouTube. I don't say this anymore, but that's really called YouTube. You can find me on YouTube.
Right, you want to say that on Two Rover TV. Good. As I'm trying to flag you on YouTube, you know what I'm saying? Calling it what it really is. So you guys check them out. You guys subscribe. And, we had this emergency meeting because it is important. The new KKK will speak Spanish. You guys join us in Atlanta, October 5th and 6th. We're going to have Judge Joe Brown there. It's going to be a family-friendly festival. And I want all my people from the West Coast, if you're watching this, listening to this right now live or in the archives, all my people in the Bay Area, all my people in Los Angeles, all my people out there on the West Coast in Cali, man, I want y'all to come through because that's why we did this, especially for you guys because, I have a lot of listeners out there in the Bay, you know what I'm saying? So I want y'all to come through. It's the perfect time. It's, call in from work or whatever, take your time off. It's 36 days away now. So you can take your time, write that letter right now, or whatever you had to do, and come on through, man. We got. It's gonna be a great thing. We even have hotel specials and all that for you guys. Yes, bro.
Shout out to the Bay Area. Alameda County, stand up. Remember, the one who was holding y'all back was that fake black girl, Scamala Harris. Come through
Oh, yeah.
Alameda County. We looking for you.
All right. Hey, that's what's up. That's what's up. Hey, big time shout out. And I want to say this. I want to encourage everybody to spread the message, awaken others, and win the revolution within. It's too raw for TV.
Conscious Cipher is a music-oriented, family-friendly festival that promotes Black positivity, unity, and higher consciousness. Following the success of our inaugural event, which sold out and featured notable personalities such as Palmetto Star and Professor Griff of Public Enemy, we are excited to announce the second installment of this transformative gathering. The second Conscious Cipher will continue to build on our mission of uniting the conscious community through music, spoken word, and inspiring guest speakers. This year, we've expanded the event to 2 days to accommodate the overwhelming interest and to provide even more enriching experiences for attendees. There will even be activities for children, ensuring a full family experience. Connect with like-minded businesses, influencers, and community leaders, with proceeds benefiting the Liberated Minds Black Homeschool and Education Institute. Together, we can create an unforgettable experience that fosters unity, positivity, and higher consciousness.
This is Judge Joe Brown. I will be in town breaking it down. You'll find me live October 5 at the Conscious Cypher. Get your tickets at 2raw4tv.com.